Well, today is kind of Ladies' Day on the Midwest Sound Countdown, I guess you'd say, with guests Jeannie C. Riley and Barbara Mandrell. And in our studios, hello, Sammi Smith.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. It's nice to have you here again.
Good to be here.
It has been so long since we have chatted. And
Yes.
had a chance. We didn't really have a chance to sit down and talk that night because it was a club appearance and things were kind of busy, weren't they?
They always are around there.
Listen, let's regress a little bit. Because I never could get this straight in my mind. Were you born in California or in Oklahoma?
I was born in California, but it was an accident. No, my daddy was in the service, and he was stationed there. And that's the only thing I have in common with California.
That was Orange, right?
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, did you move and live in Oklahoma for a while?
Yeah, we left California when I was probably less than a year old.
It's an endearing term, but we use it with John Denver. Were you an Army brat or an Air Force brat? Or
Yeah, Army.
Army?
Well, no, my dad was in the Army Air Corps, so.
I see. Well, John Denver's was too, I think. Chris
Wonder if they knew each
Christopherson's
other.
dad was in the Army. And you move around a lot, don't you, when
Yeah.
you're a kid?
Yep, I moved around more than dust.
Where did music and where'd you get together with music?
It's always been there, I guess. My daddy is a gigantic Ernest Tubb fan, and I don't remember a time when I wasn't singing for Daddy or something like that, and then I just drifted into doing it professionally. I've never considered being anything else except a cowboy or a forest ranger. Those are the only two things I wanted to be.
Was your dad? Did your dad help you with music? Was he instrumental?
No,
as much?
Daddy is. Daddy never did really get into it that much. He's a cowboy, you know, and he's one of the last old working cowboys, and it all just goes right over his head. He doesn't really get involved in it that much.
Does he still have a ranch and work in Oklahoma or something?
Yeah, he's still in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Because we talked to who was it? Henson Cargill.
Yeah.
Has a buffalo ranch.
That's
down there.
right. And I wonder if he can hear us.
Henson Cargill.
Yeah. Henson, you owe me a buffalo skull.
He's probably sound asleep.
Oh well, maybe someone will pass the word on.
He does still raise buffalo down
Yeah.
there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, now we picked up your singing career. I did anyway, after the Columbia record days. But you were with CBS Records.
Right.
Is that where it started as far as...
Yeah, that's where my first recording was with Columbia. I think after I left Columbia, they put everything that they'd ever cut on me on an album, and I think total I'd done 9 or 10 songs. I'm not sure, but they just threw them all together after Help Me Make It. Yeah.
And then you were in Phoenix, Arizona. Didn't you work for Waylon Jennings?
Oh yeah, I worked with Waylon for over a year, just traveling with him.
Yes. I got a kick.
Which speaks well for my constitution, because you notice I look pretty healthy.
Yes,
so.
you do. Certainly do. Yes, you can put on a lot of miles traveling with Waylon
Boy, that's
Jennings.
for sure.
I remember an album one time that had an album liner on it, and it said "Favorite Hobbies."
Yeah.
Chasing lizards.
Yeah, I like to chase lizards. Tricky little devils.
Sammi Smith will be at the Barn Dinner Theater tomorrow night.
Right, and tomorrow afternoon.
And tomorrow afternoon also. And the price out there includes, and they have delicious food.
They do?
It's really good. Includes lunch or dinner.
Oh, good.
What kind of show are you going to do?
A long one.
Long.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Let's listen to a lively song.
Okay.
This is from one of Sammy's albums. The album's called Mixed Emotions, and we'll talk about that and this artist DeGrazia here in just a little bit. Sammi Smith.
Yeah,
That's
serious.
That's such a fun song. You got the power. That's from an album called Mixed Emotions. Who is DeGrazia?
DeGrazia is an artist. He's very well known for his little pictures of little Mexican and Indian angels with no faces.
Oh yeah.
And he's probably my best friend in the whole world.
Wrote a little liner for you
Yes.
on the album, and then you wrote a song called DeGrazia's Song.
Yeah, the reason for that, DeGrazia is he's so talented. You know, he's you can't buy an original DeGrazia anymore. He just doesn't. They're so inaccessible. You know, they cost a fortune. But he's the type person who can make something beautiful out of everything. And as you walk around the grounds in his gallery, which is at Tucson, it's 10 acres, and you walk by what you think is an old dead tree limb or something, and then you get to looking at it, and he's made little turquoise angels or something that they're just tucked into these places and into the natural landscaping, and he makes beautiful jewelry and paintings and ceramics and casting and sculpting, so there's nothing he can't do. And there's nothing you could buy for somebody like that he couldn't do better himself. So the only thing that I could think of to show him how much I love him was to write him that song for Christmas. That was his Christmas present.
Beautiful song. It just really is. We'll try to play that in a little bit. Do you live in Phoenix?
I live on the San Carlos Apache Reservation.
Oh, do you? Are you Indian?
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
Kiowa Apache.
Kiowa Apache.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo.
And Leo, yes.
The cardinal fire sign.
A lion.
Whew. Indian and Leo. Mm. Well, we could get into astrology and talk. Sammi Smith is with us on the Midwest Sound Countdown. Back in a moment. Need somebody to rub your back?
Really?
Well, that won't affect your show, though. Doesn't affect
Oh,
your
no,
voice.
no, I don't sing with my back.
Yeah, right. Once again, Sammi is going to be at the Barn Dinner Theater for 2 shows tomorrow, and we'll be out there. We're going to have a little gathering tonight for some of the people around, and say hi to them and everything.
Yep.
That should be nice.
Bill Knowles is doing this, and he's got an ulcer. Just from me coming to town.
Bill is with us here in the studio.
Well, he's partially with us.
I got a letter from Bill. When did I get that letter? Was that back in, I don't know, it was last year. And Bill said, Sammy's coming to town. I want you to, this was last year. And we're going to have a gathering. And
Listen, I didn't even know I was booked until Bill called me and told me.
7 minutes before 12 noon right now. Let's get back to your music career, and let's see, we put you on the scene out there in Phoenix, Arizona, and you were with Waylon Jennings, and probably you were performing at JD's.
Yeah, actually we only worked JD's a couple of times because by that time Waylon had struck out on the road.
I thought that was a funny story, though, about Brad McCune.
Which one?
The big...
No, but I mean, which one about Brad?
Oh. Wasn't there a story about he approached you and said he was going to...
Oh. Yeah, I was at
story.
RG's then. And he said that he was sending some people out or something. I don't know what it was. And this may not be the same story, but they came in where I was playing, and they were going to surprise me. And... take me to, he brought the head of the company, which was Mega was just forming then. Mm-hmm. And nobody was supposed to know that they were there. And when I got off after part of my set, I went to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And their wives were in there talking about them coming out to get me. And so then we got acquainted and everything, and that's how we happened to meet. But
the story in the... magazine. I think I read that in a magazine. I forgot where I heard that. Was that Brad McCune? You've got to picture him. He's a typical, big cigar smoking, ring wearing guy who comes up to Sammi Smith and says, "Darling, I'm going to form a record label, right?
Yes.
And I want you to record for me."
Yes.
And I can imagine your initial reaction was,
Oh, listen, I'd been through that so many times. So many times.
Do you hear a lot of? I guess you did. You probably don't anymore. But did you hear a lot of stories in the clubs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of different stories. Anyway,
they were lined up at the door. Yeah.
But what Sammy didn't know was that this guy went ahead and did it.
Yeah, and that's unheard of. But what they didn't know was the first record was going to be a monster.
Million seller.
It completely took them by surprise.
That song was in an album by Ray Price.
That's right. That's right.
And I forgot who I called somebody and I said, listen, there's a song in the album by Ray Price and he has another single out and he's locked into this single. I think it was Waylon. And I said, if you do that song,
yeah,
or if you get somebody to do it, it's going to be such a monster hit.
That's right. Well, see, I had done it first, but my album was released after his was, and my cut was on an album, if you remember.
Yeah.
And it was the Jocks who pulled it out of the album as a single.
And it became a million seller. Helped me make it through the. Chris Christopherson wrote that.
Yeah, he sure did. Boy, did he write it.
Did you ever meet him?
Oh, yeah, he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Do
you think he's kind of deserting the music scene right now?
No.
Is he going to write more songs?
Yeah. He, in fact, I called and talked to Rita the other day, and he was off writing somewhere then. He's just doing an album. But, no, he's not deserting it, I don't think.
Well, the last time that I talked to him on the air, he said he wanted to write more, but he didn't have the time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's starting another movie in March, so that'll take up a couple of months, you know. But you don't find very many people at all in the world that are as talented as Chris is.
Oh, I know.
And able to do so many things, and I'm only glad that he's gotten the opportunity to do it. Yeah.
When you're on stage, Sammy, you don't do much dialogue, do you?
No.
You get up there and just sing? Oh.
I figured that's why they came. I don't talk on my album, so.
Do you have your own band?
No. I have a band that I use part of the time, which it belongs to me and Merle. And when Merle's not working, well, I get them. And Ronnie Reno will be here with the group tonight, and Gordon Terry.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be a good show. It's I'm looking forward to it. So
that's tomorrow night, Barn Dinner Theater. We're going to introduce your new song, but I tell you what, let's do it after we have Paul Harvey coming up. And can I carry you past noon?
Sure.
Okay. All right. We'll have Sammi Smith with us on after Paul Harvey. We're going back to the countdown right now and do song number 26 in our survey, and then we'll have Sammi Smith back with us. I've got some more things I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Tom T. Hall has the number 26 entry at WIL, son of Clayton Delaney. Paul Harvey coming up, Sammi Smith back with us on the other side of noon. The Midwest Sound Countdown with special guest Sammi Smith, and coming up later, Jeannie C. Riley. She has some interesting things to say about Harper Valley PTA. And Barbara Mandrell will be along later. Our feature album is TNT with Tanya Tucker from WIL 1430 St. Louis, 1 minute past 12 noon.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. I like these Saturday visits. Good day.
From the studios of WIL in St. Louis, Walter Vaughn with the Midwest Sound Countdown. Special guests Sammi Smith, Jeannie C. Riley, Barbara Mandrell. And the feature album, TNT, from Tanya Tucker. Sammi Smith is with us in the studios as we continue Music by the Numbers, and we've reached the number 25 song in the survey, a 9-place move up for Willie Nelson, who reconstitutes an old Don Gibson-written song, Sweet Memories. Willie Nelson, Sweet Memories. Midwest Sound Countdown at WIL. Sammi Smith is with us today, and Sammi will be on stage, Barn Dinner Theater, tomorrow, 2 shows, including lunch, including dinner.
Well, I'm going to be full when I get through,
yeah.
huh?
Wow, and it's good food, too. Good
well,
food.
I'm ready right now. I wonder if they got anything to eat out there.
They sure do, all the time, all the time. Now then, we have gone through the album that we played the song from a while ago, You Got the Power. It's on Elektra Records. But there's a fellow in Tulsa, Oklahoma by the name of Jim Halsey, who a lot of people well, no, Jim Halsey, if we call the name. But in the music business, he's getting to be a king.
Oh, yeah. Regular golden touch.
Rules over his own domain. he's actually a booking agent, a promotion agent, and he's now booking you, isn't that right?
No, he doesn't book me.
Doesn't book you.
No, but I'm on his new record label.
So, if you can't get an artist one way...
You'll get him another, that's right.
But he is booking the world, practically.
Yeah, he has Roy Clark, Tammy, Mel Tillis.
Johnny Rodriguez.
Yeah, everybody in the world, except me.
Barbara Fairchild, and, the list goes on and on and on. But you're recording for his record label now,
right?
Which is called Cyclone.
Cyclone.
Yeah. Do you? You and George Jones, I guess, jump from record label to record label more than anybody. Why?
Well, I don't know. This is only my third label. It seems like I've been on a lot of labels. When Mega did away with itself, suddenly 800 different labels came out, and they're all basically the same material, but I'm on Springboard, Buckboard, Wagon Bed. I don't know how many labels I'm on. Zodiac. With Mega, they went under. They were not record people to begin with. With Elektra, they were just not interested in my career. They were doing nothing.
That's what Brenda Lee said.
Yeah, well, they didn't. The only way that people knew I had a product was if I were to take it to them myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't fight those odds and make a living, which is what I'm in the business for. Well, it's not really. I'd be in the business even if I wasn't.
Doing something
yeah,
in the music.
just somehow.
I'll tell you a local joke. We were talking about Brad McCune a while ago, who was the man that started Mega Records.
Yeah.
And Sammi Smith was the artist that made Mega Records, really, with Help Me Make It Through the Night. But there was a sign down in Nashville that got to be a local joke.
Oh, really?
Right off Music Road.
Future offices of Mega Records, and that's the biggest darn building I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
All glass and chrome and everything, and that sign sat there for 30 years and nothing. They didn't even turn over a shovel of dirt.
They had this picture of this building on this sign, a big, huge sign,
Yeah.
the future, home
Future
of Mega
home of
Records.
Mega Records.
And every time somebody would go down there and come back, the question was, sign still there?
Yeah, right.
Anybody working in that vacant lot yet?
That sign, now, in my own personal opinion, that sign should be in the Hall of Fame.
It should be. It may be.
It may be. Something happened to it. I know no one took it down willingly.
And when the sign left, that's one of the first things we heard about. The sign is gone.
The sign is gone.
What do you suppose?
Oh, no, somebody died.
I was saying, well, what happened to Sammy?
Yes. Well, who cares? The sign's gone.
Anyway, we've got Sammi Smith, and we've got a prediction of a future here. We're going to wind up this part of the countdown, our interview with Sammi Smith, and
Barbara and Jeannie aren't talking too much, are they?
No, they're not. No.
It's okay. You girls can say something.
And you will have, you said, 3 members of Merle Haggard's band with you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Out there at the Barn Dinner Theater.
Now, they're not completely Merle's. They're half mine.
Half yours?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us about some of the songs you're going to do?
Oh, we'll do the new record, of course, and probably some things from the first album, and Bridge Over Troubled Water, and then a couple of new things that'll be on my new album, which will be out in, I don't know, however long they wait after they put out a single before they put out an album.
You can't tell about that fella Halsey,
That's true.
I was thinking a while ago when I said a Don Gibson written song, I was thinking about your song you did of his, which was such a good one, I Can't Stop Loving You.
Oh, yeah.
That was his.
Yeah.
Mickey Newberry did Sweet Memories.
Right.
Mickey Newberry,
Uh-huh.
every time I've got an album at home and put on an album that I've got, and it's got Danny Boy in it.
Isn't that a great album?
That is one of the greatest albums I've ever listened
I
to.
think the In the Pines cut on that is classic.
Just sit there and listen to it, and then I say to myself, I want to bring Mickey Newberry back. And I can't find him out there in Bend, Oregon, somewhere up there.
Oh, well, I can tell you how to find him.
Oh, okay.
I'd say, just for the record, Mickey Newberry is the biggest musical hero I have. He is a genius.
Mine too, yeah.
And maybe if everybody is in the mood for listening, I might do a couple of his things with the guitar, because he does some. Oh, he's a fine writer.
You do that so well. You just
I love to do
sit
that.
up on the stool with
the guitar. If everybody
guitar.
gets in the mood for it, I can't think of anything I'd rather do.
Can you feel the mood of an audience? Can you
Yeah,
feel if they
yeah.
they want that or not? I think you'll find out there at the Barn Dinner Theater that probably more so at the night show.
Yeah.
Try it in the afternoon, but I think probably the mood will be more so at the night show. Huh?
Well, I'm game.
But Mickey does that well. Larry Gatlin does it well.
Oh yeah.
I thought Mickey Newberry and Larry Gatlin were twins. You know?
That's right.
It's-
But Mickey, whereas Larry just got to Nashville not too long ago, but Mickey's been doing this for years. And I used to spend half my time when they'd say, somebody'd hear Mickey and they'd say, boy, he sounds just like Larry Gatlin. And I'd say, Larry Gatlin sounds just like him.
And Gatlin says that.
Yeah, that's right.
He really
That's
does.
right.
And, they're very good friends and everything. But did Mickey get discouraged?
Well, yeah, I think so, because Mickey is a very personal writer. He's very much involved with everything he writes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes he is discouraged maybe by the public's attitude to his material. He has a huge cult following.
Mm-hmm.
But as for the general public, they don't always see what he sees in a song, and what a musician or another singer would hear. And I think that's had a tendency to discourage him somewhat.
Anybody that wants to really hear Mickey Newberry, get that album that we're talking about. I wish I could remember that. It has a picture of a train on the front of it.
Yeah, Rusty Tracks is the name of it.
Rusty Tracks.
And in fact, one of my favorite songs on there is Hand Me Another. Great writer.
You sit there and listen to that album, and I'm continually amazed that Mickey Newberry is not one of the biggest stars of the day.
He should be. But Mickey doesn't like to do personal appearances. He's very self-conscious, and for God knows why, because he's incredible. I've never heard a voice like his. If you would care to join the Mickey Newberry band.
What about your new song? Who wrote it? Do you know?
Terry Skinner and Jerry Wallace.
Oh, Jerry Wallace.
No, not the Jerry Wallace.
That's a different Jerry
The
Wallace.
Jerry Wallace that's playing guitar on the record wrote it. And they're super. They're from Muscle Shoals, and they're really super writers. Can I mention something?
Sure.
This is the second year, thank you, Bill, for reminding me. I've started the Sammi Smith Scholarship for Apache Advanced Education. Last year was our first benefit concert, and we have it at Globe, Arizona, outside. Johnny Cash came last year, and Johnny Rodriguez, and Mickey Newberry. And we're going to do it again this year, the last week in April. And so we're doing national publicity on it. We had people coming from all over last year.
Will you send us some publicity on this so that we can tell the audience about it at the time?
Yep, and if you're not doing anything, I'll send you definite dates, but we'd love to have you come.
I'd love to come out there. I think I have some time then, but I'll have to check and see, but I'd love to. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, it's great. And the older Indian ladies set up the shades and cook fried bread outdoors, and then all my kids do the traditional dances, and it's a beautiful thing. And we just have a good time.
Now, by all your kids, you mean the Indian kids?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have about 100. Boy, the grocery bill is overpowering.
I would imagine so. You're really into this, to the Indian thing.
Yes, I've never been as happy as when I'm there, and we're into a very strong movement. It's not a militant movement at all. It's just that the kids need some incentive, and they worked really hard on this thing last year, and people really got their money's worth for the 2 days of entertainment. Everybody donated their time. They donated their transportation out there, and it was our first year now, and we were able to pay for everything, including a permanent site and a permanent stage facility for holding the benefit, and managed to put a few $100s in the bank, which is almost unheard of.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. Sammi Smith, I want to thank you for being with us on the countdown. We've got to get back to music by the numbers, but we are predicting future hits for Gene Watson and Johnny Duncan and Janie Fricke, and for a girl named Sammi Smith.
Well, I hope your predictions are right.
Well, let's the audience is the final judge, you know.
That's true.
They're the jury on this show.
True.
And Sammi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, I love you, and I had a good time.
It's been so long since you've been to St. Louis
I know it.
that we're going to most certainly come out to see you at the Barn Dinner Theater tomorrow afternoon. I'll be there tomorrow night, probably.
Okay.
Tomorrow night. And we'll just sit around and have ourselves a musical good time.
You got a deal.
Thank you, Sammi Smith.
Thank you.
The song is called What a Lie.